Stay locked in left, right, left, right. Moving forward on the glory.
Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. We got the week 10 over-unders. We're going to go reverse order. Let's get to the first game. Monday Night Football, Los Angeles Rams at the San Francisco 49ers. The over-under is 49.5, and I'm going under here. Listen, we know this 49ers defense has been just start and stop all year. They can't really cover anyone. They got a good pass rush. Can't cover. The Bears were even able to run it on them. I mean, there's so many concerning things with the Niners defense, but I think they'll respond at least a little bit here. But also, I don't think Jimmy G and this offense get much going. You know, the stats don't look bad for Jimmy G, but this man's not playing at a high level. This man does not make big plays. And it's one reason, just watch this 49ers team once they get to the 30-yard line, the red zone. Watch when they get in those areas. It's too timid, too many field goals, not enough gusto. Rams have the gusto. I'm not really worried about the Rams. I just don't think the 49ers are coming to dance too much. That's where I'm going under. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Las Vegas Raiders. The over-under is 52.5, and I have a borderline money pick here. This is one I want you to approach with caution, of course. I mean, I'm going to under the 52.5 because this Chiefs offense just looks different to me, and you got to calibrate these Chiefs games a little bit differently when you look at them now. I mean, that game last week, he looked like Kelly Holcomb or Jake Dalhomme protecting the lead, not Pat Mahomes. You got to do what you got to do in this league to win games, but this Chiefs offense just isn't in rhythm. It isn't in vogue right now. And the Raiders, do I even need to mention what's gone on there the last 3-4 weeks? And this Raiders offense has played quite good this year, but I'm not going to get into the personal stuff, but Henry Ruggs is a huge miss. The Raiders do not have another dog in that wide receiving core that can step up and help Carr. That's why I'm going under here. Borderline money pick. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Denver Broncos. The over-under is 44.5. Money, 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 money. I'm going over here, and I absolutely love this one. If you wanted to isolate this, I would bet the over for the Philadelphia Eagles, the team total for them, if you wanted something else, if you don't fancy this. But I just think the Eagles defense has a big game, and eventually that Von Miller trade, whatever you call that, heist, is going to have reverberations on the field, but also in that locker room in terms of motivation level. I know they went out and played great against Dallas, but you guys really see that continuing. I think Philadelphia has a good game on offense because I think they're able to run the ball. I think this Denver defense is soft, especially their front seven. I think they're very soft. Philly runs it good. At Denver, I think they do move the ball. That's why I'm going over. I have more questions about Denver's offense than I do the Eagles' offense, even though Denver has those great wide receivers. Next game, we got the Seattle Seahawks at the Green Bay Packers. The over-under is 49.5. Money, 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 money. I'm going under here. And I'm excited. I'm approaching this game that Aaron the Game Rodgers is going to play. He pretty much said out of his own mouth that he will play pretty much 90-95% sure. I think he comes in and plays good. But the reason why I'm going under here is I think Russell Wilson struggles a little bit. I think this Packers defense is actually good. I mean, there's things I'm not crazy about. I still think you can pound this Packers front seven, but I'll tell you what, they look good on the pass rush and they look good in pass coverage. I think the Packers have a big day against the Seattle Seahawks offense, even with Russell coming back. I know when Russell America Wilson comes back, you will see more creativity. You will see more splash plays, but it's a tough first game back for Russell. I'm going under. Next game, we got the Carolina Panthers at the Arizona Cardinals. The over-under is 44. I'm going over. This is one I just want people to stay away from. Carolina's been so bad on offense, you don't know if they're going to have a Jets at Denver type performance where they get shut out, or you don't know if they might get blown out this game and be able to put up some garbage points. I'm betting the over. But this one has absolutely no science whatsoever. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. The best gambling show on the internet. Let's get to the next game. We got the Minnesota Vikings, my Minnesota Vikings, at the Los Angeles Chargers. The over-under is 53. Money. I'm going over. And this Minnesota defense is better than last year, and this Minnesota defense has gotten better, but I do feel like they're getting a little bit banged up. I do feel like they are running out of ideas, and look at how this Vikings defense plays on the road. They're just not good enough. They had one good game on the road, and that's against Carolina, and whenever you talk about Sam Darnold in this league, you might as well just crumble up the paper, throw it out, and forget about it. It means nothing. I think Herbert gets it going. I think Herbert's lurking in the 30s. I would be shocked if the Chargers don't get to 30 this game. I know they didn't get to 30 against the Eagles, but that was an odd game with a lot of time of possession by both offenses. I think the Chargers are more explosive this game. Now, you worry about Dalvin Cook. Is Dalvin Cook going to play? What's up with this controversy? I think Dalvin Cook plays. Chargers have the worst run defense in this league, and when Kirk Cousins gets a run game, you will see the Vikings get more explosive plays. We know Thielen can ball, Jefferson can ball. I got this pushing towards over. I would be one of these. I think the Chargers have to get to 30 to win this game, and that's one big reason why I think it pushes over. Next game, we got the Detroit Lions. Well, we'll save that game for later. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Washington No Names. The over-under is 51.5. I'm going under here. And Tampa Bay games, in terms of the over-under, are extremely hard to bet. They're easy to bet when you know it's going to be a competitive game, but if it's a team they're favored by more than 7-8 points for, it's a battle because we don't know what Buccaneers shows up. I just don't think Taylor Heineke's going to have that big a game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, and I think the Buccaneers defense, it's November 10th right now. I think they start getting better. I think they start playing with more intensity. That's a big reason why I'm going to under. And listen, this Tampa Bay offensive line is good, but I think they'll have their hands full with this Washington defensive line. I think Brady will play it a little bit safe. I don't think this pushes towards the over. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints at the Tennessee Titans. The over-under is 44.5. Now, you're probably guessing, Lawson, you're going to go under here, right? You know, Trevor Siemian, Taysom Hill might play. No King Henry. This is going under. No, I'm going over. This is going over. The Saints defense is damn good, and the Saints defense needs a round of applause. But I think the Saints offense will put the Saints defense in vulnerable situations. Sean Payton is able to generate 20 points with whatever quarterback you choose in this league. Look at what he did with Theodore Bridgewater. Look at what he did at Washington with famous Jameis Winston. This man can really lay down a game plan. I think he'll lay down enough game plan. I see the Titans winning something like 27-20, just pushing just barely towards that over. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen at the New York Giants. The over-under is 47.5. I have this as a surprise over. I really should be going under here, but this is just base gut instinct. This is just me just reacting to what I've been seeing on film. I think the Bills explode this week, but they have to get this ball to Stephon Diggs more. I mean, I'm not understanding why Emmanuel Sanders, Cole Beasley are getting more looks than Stephon Diggs. You really got to keep him involved in the game, and there's too much underneath for the Buffalo Bills. I think they get their explosion level up against the New York Jets if the weather is good. good. Watch the weather, watch the wind in the forecast. Mike White's getting another opportunity. And listen, Mike White, I'm not going to come on here and serenade you and try to sell you a used car. Mike White isn't really good. But one thing you cannot question in this league, and one thing you cannot bet against, especially as we get to the later weeks in the season, you can't bet against a guy fighting and clawing for a paycheck. You can't. When a roster space, when a contract's up for grabs, you will see people fight. I think Mike White goes off a little bit here. I'm not saying it's a competitive game, but I don't think the Jets are shut out like they were at Denver. I'm going over here, a surprise over. It's against my instincts and fundamentals. Next game, we got the Atlanta Falcons at the Dallas Cowboys. Them boys, the over-under is 54.5. I'm going under because I think this Dallas defense will put pressure on Matt Ryan. I think Matt Ryan will struggle to get into rhythm here, and I think he will have problems. The Falcons are probably good for 17 to 20 points in this game, but I don't see Dallas having a vintage game. I don't see them going for over in the 30s. I think they win comfortably 27-17, maybe 30-17 in that range. I don't think there's anything crazy happening in this game. Now, we know the Cowboys defense is vulnerable. We know that. But my problem is with Atlanta, I don't think they can exploit it. Pitts and Matt Ryan, yes, they are getting into a little bit of a symbiosis. They are starting to move the ball, and I did call that Saints game last week. But the Falcons are a really tough team to have confidence in. Very tough team. I'm going under here on the 54.5. Next game, we got the Detroit Lions. Dan Campbell at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The over-under is 42.5. Money, money, money. Money. This is against conventional wisdom. We know Heinz Field in November, in December is an extremely hard place to score points. And we know when you have Jared Goff as your starting quarterback, it's extremely hard to score points in this league. But I'm absolutely loving this one. 42.5 is pretty low for an NFL game. Listen, we do know it is Jared Goff, and this Lions offense has no weapons, and they're banged up, and they're out of creativity, and they're out of confidence. And we know Mike Tomlin has a great defense, but hear me out. I think Pittsburgh gets into the 30s here. I think Pittsburgh will be able to run the ball down Detroit's throat. Say what you will about Detroit's defense. My biggest problem with Detroit's defense is their inability to stop the run. Yes, they are maybe 32 out of 32 in terms of athleticism on defense. Yes, they are terrible, and they make a lot of bad mistakes. But I'll tell you what, I don't think they stop the run, and I think that allows Big Ben to get play action. Steelers are getting into the 30s here. And it's just about the Lions maybe getting 13, 14, 17 points. I think they'll be able to do it, especially if there are garbage time points involved. Next game. Man, I'm ready for this game. We got the Cleveland Browns at the New England Patriots. The over-under is 45. I'm going over here. This is against conventional wisdom again, and you guys do say, Lawson, you're more of an under guy, and yes, normally under is the way to go, especially if you have a good read on both teams, but this one's going to go over, and this is going to be an extremely physical game, and I think this game comes down to who runs the rock better. And I'm not so sure Nick Chubb misses this game. From what I'm reading, all he needs to do is pass negative for COVID on Saturday, and then he can play. And with this Browns offense, without Odell Beckham, I think it opens up the run game. I think it opens up the play action. And obviously, Baker Mayfield needs to do what he did last week. Patriots defense is damn good, but this is the best rush attack in the league, and I think the Browns control this side of the ball. And then when you're looking at the Patriots, Mac Jones just keeps making things happen. This kid just keeps generating points. I keep counting the Patriots out, and this kid keeps getting them to 24, 27 week in and week out. This kid keeps taking this team in close fourth quarter battles and putting up points in the fourth quarter. When you put up points in the fourth quarter in this league, that's when it pushes over. And no, it's not a lazy cliche. It's because the Patriots are always in close games, and these close games fulcrum and always push over no matter how low it is. I got the over 45 for Browns and Patriots. Hit that damn like button. Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jags at the Indianapolis Colts. The over-under is 47.5. I'm going under here. Now, I think the Jags defense comes out and plays really well. But let me get to the main reason why. This Jags receiving core is not playing good enough. And I'm not a big pro football focused guy, but they do have the Jags as 32 out of 32 in wide receiver separation, and you can see it. And I bet they're top 10 in the leagues in drops. Chenault can't catch anything. Marvin Jones can't run. And when Lawrence does throw a back shoulder fade, he can't catch. The Colts have a vulnerable defense, especially a vulnerable secondary, especially if you can attack them with speed and velocity. The Jags just, they don't have any dogs who can make plays with DJ Chark out. And that's kind of the same rationale for the Colts. Jags got a pretty good secondary. If the Jags don't commit a ton of penalties on defense, I'm sure they're going to stay stout. I'm sure they're going to stay firm this game. Like, I could see the Colts winning 24-20, 24-17. But really, if this Jags defense actually comes to play and doesn't make silly mistakes, this would be a money pick leaning towards the under. Next game and last game of the weekend, we got Thursday night football. The Baltimore Ravens at the Miami Dolphins. The over-under is 46.5. I'm going over here, and you always are at a risk when you're picking Thursday night games. I'm very good at it, but I'm very cautious with it too. I do have a good read for this over, and I'm surprised by it as well. The Ravens offense doesn't seem to get going into the second half, and it seems like they need 4 downs to be successful. I mean, we've seen the explosive plays they've been putting up in the second half these last few games, and it's been ridiculous. The comebacks have been ridiculous. I mean, the Ravens at this point are good for 27 to 30 points a game. And this Miami offense, they're actually getting the run game going the last 3 weeks. I don't really care who plays quarterback, because at this point, my man Brissett and Tua, they kind of give the Dolphins different things, but they all equal the same mediocrity if we're lucky. Neither can take care of the ball, but luckily the Dolphins are starting to run that rock. Parker will miss this game. It is a bit of a shame, but the Miami's actually moving the rock on offense. I think it results in points. I'm going over here. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. Make sure you subscribe. Check out my Patreon, link in description. Only $5 a month. Let's get this money, guys.
How many days it gonna take? You switch on me and I ain't get a break. If I hop off, then the levee gon' break. If I take 2, then I'm off into space. Put all that down, pour all that out. I'm done without, we on the now. Step up the step, day by the day. Live for the night and I'm never gon' break. Yeah.
Step by step by step by step. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Step by step by step by step. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Moving forward on the glory, up and onward, write the story. Little further, I can see it. We will be there before you know.
This life can get you down, down, down.
Just keep yourself around.